What's up, everybody? How's it going? Hopefully, everybody's having a good day or a good evening. TGIF. What's up?
Goodness
Keeping
is
the
Friday.
swine in line. Hopefully, y'all like that little intro there. We're probably not going to be very popular for a while, but because there is other people on, but that's okay. Thank you all for coming in. You can always watch two channels at one time. I I didn't know the other person was going live at the same time till after I'd done scheduled it, and it was already like 15 minutes in. So, uh, it's a beautiful day. I really like that little thing that I made right there. That little, yeah, thought that was pretty cool. Hopefully, uh, I won't get struck by YouTube for that, but who knows? YouTube is a crazy creature. That's what they keep telling
Yes,
me
they
anyway.
are.
Huh?
I said, yes, they are. Crackies, man. We got the YouTube creature here.
Oh no, not the YouTube creature.
You know what? I'm going to
Hello,
put it on
Darlene.
the stick.
Hello, C4T. Mr. John Blanchard. How are you, sir? Hope everybody is well and good.
Oh, to text someone that I'm.
Oh, my God.
Oh. Okay, so is anything going to happen here? What would you like to happen here? Osceola Musketeer. Osceola Musketeer. Musketeer. Yeah.
Monkster?
Yeah. Osceola Mugster.
Yeah, we're just getting started.
Let's get it started in here. Oh, let's get it started up here.
Poor TV.
That's in Florida. Yeah. Yeah, I used to live in Florida. I lived right down in Citrus County. Citrus County.
I know I want to go to Florida. especially next
It's
week.
it's not bad.
If somebody's willing to pay me $30,000, I'll go streaking down the streets of Miami as Stitch.
Oh, you're in PA. Nothing wrong with that, I don't guess. Pennsylvania is not too bad. Oh. And you'll shut up now, not my show? Oh, you're good. You're in the Alabama part of PA? So what you're trying to say is it's kind of a bunch of old rednecks, kind of like me. Because these are my people. EXO's laughing about that. Yeah. Philly in the east, Pittsburgh, West Alabama in between. Oh, okay. You never know what you're going to find in what state. That's for sure. You're liable to run into anything.
I would say the whole, almost everything that ain't Amish country in PA in Alabama. At least to the Amish.
Yeah, but the Amish are cool though, man.
Yeah.
You ever jump off of a top turnbuckle? Yes. Yes, I have. I've jumped off of the top of a bathroom before. What are you talking about? Jumped off of a balcony. Matter of fact, when I jumped off the bathroom, I done a moonsault. I couldn't do a moonsault now. I'm too fat. Too old.
What's a moonsault?
Yes. If I jump off of something now, there better be like 7 people to catch my fat ass.
Just call the fire department out and have them put up their big, huge airbag. You'll be fine.
Of course, I don't plan on wrestling anybody anymore anyway, so no danger of that happening.
What are you talking about, Nightmare? You wrestle in your dreams all the time.
I do.
That's a fun place to do it.
Yeah, at least I ain't gonna get hurt that way.
Unless you end up acting it out while you're sleeping and end up throwing yourself out of bed.
Well, that That could happen.
Yeah.
That very well could happen. Two wrongs don't make a right. But three lefts do.
Where's two wrongs don't make a right?
That's what somebody told me. You think Elvis has left the building?
No, I think Elvis is locked up in a basement in Vegas still.
I once met a liberal in Texas. His name wasn't Kaiser, was it?
That's like the worst state to go to if you're a liberal, is to Texas. Especially if you're the type that hate guns.
Right.
You can't. There's like nowhere in Texas you can go without seeing at least 10 or 15 pew-pews on someone.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's definitely an open carry state.
Let's see. You got
Or
Kansas,
Oklahoma, yeah.
and Texas. That are all open carry.
How you doing, AVA? You doing all right, buddy?
Ooh, crap. That ain't good if he does.
Kaiser has that military police tattoo. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that would be dumb.
Oh, yeah. Especially if somebody decides to look at his background while in the Gray Hotel. I mean, there's really nothing wrong with having a military tattoo if you're like doing it as a memorial for a family member. But if he has it where he's claiming it, yeah, that's a big deal. That's a no-no.
Yeah. Well, I hope he don't have any military tattoos. That would not be a very good idea. Are you serious, XO? He does have a military tattoo? Wow. That's dumb.
I'm gonna feel sorry. I ain't gonna really feel sorry for him, but his body's gonna be hurting in the Gray Hotel once
That's
somebody
dumb.
finds that out.
He didn't even finish basic. Why would he do something stupid like that? Well, don't answer that question. Don't answer that question. We know.
Yeah, we already know, but one to two things are going to happen. Either somebody's going to black it out for them, or they're going to cut it off of them.
Yeah, I've seen it happen, especially when they find out that it's not true.
Yeah.
Especially when they find out it's not true. Was he like 413? Yeah, something like that.
I know. You got Stone Veit, you have Tats, MSG.
Says, baby, it's cold outside. Yeah, he lies about everything. You ain't kidding. I know, right? What a turd. What a shithole. I may have picked the wrong night to try to do a live. At least we got 7 people in here that like me or like us.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't see nothing wrong with them if you're doing a memorial for someone.
Right, if you're doing a tribute. What's up, Alo? I thought you might be over there with your boy Indy.
I texted Indy the link and said, hey, we're live. See if he wanted to come.
He's on the other channel.
Oh, he's on Brooklyn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just discovered you recently, I think. I was in Nasty Nathaniel. Yeah. I like Nasty Nathaniel. That's my buddy. I love you, Swan. I love all you guys.
Yeah. No, I was watching the civil rights lawyer earlier. But his pastor has a lawsuit against West Virginia cops. And he found a case over here where I'm at. Now I want to go poke the bear. See if they'll want to get in trouble again. The pastor got arrested for inciting fear for having a pro-life poster.
I appreciate that, Swan. I try to be, buddy. I don't know how else to be. You know what I'm saying? I just, yeah. Sometimes that gets me in trouble, and I think that's why I'm not so popular sometimes, because I show it all. You know, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah, some people can't handle the truth.
You can't handle the truth.
I know, that's like one of the most famous lines of all time out of A Few Good Men.
I love that movie. Sometimes though, it ain't about what's popular, you know. I did learn a lot of shit today though from Direct D, which is good. Back when Tom Cruise was an actor, yeah. Halo, halo, halo. I've been working on a lot of editing stuff anyway. I was hoping that my daughter was going to bring her tattoo gun tonight and everything, and I was going to do a tattoo live and shit, so y'all could watch it and everything, but that didn't happen. So that would have been pretty cool.
In the hospital, Andy.
Indy in the hospital.
The gun goes pew pew. So she's gonna dip the projectiles in ink and tattoo that way. Yeah, we don't need you in the hospital.
Yeah, tattoo gun. Yeah.
It's a tattoo machine.
Yeah, that thing.
Yeah, I got in trouble in a tat shop for calling it a gun, and he pulled out a 45. It's like, no, this is a gun. This is a machine. Get it right. Gotcha.
No.
Yeah, Ayla, I'm going to get your name tattooed on my neck. It's going to be Yourname. So I can say I have your name on my neck.
Well, that's not what I thought you were going to say. I'm glad you didn't say it. I had to take down a live last night. YouTube said, we ain't leaving that up. But it was for some music.
Monetize for your videos and one to do lives on.
See, I think that's why I'm going to make another channel, so that way when I do lives, it won't be monetized, and that just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
And then just post it where on this one saying live on this channel. Yeah. Nightmares Live or something like that.
Yeah, and then you can like download it, edit it if you want to put it up on the monetized channel.
Right. I don't know that I'm going to do that, but I could do that. But then it won't be monetized, so it won't matter. Like, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you can take the live, find the funny parts, do shorts, and as long as it's not going to get hit for copyright, then it gets monetized and you still make money off of it.
You think my other channel should be there? Okay. Have a good night, keeping the swine in line. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. I already have 2 channels anyway. I've got my other one. I need to do some work on it. Love y'all. Love you too, buddy.
Yeah, I don't know if YouTube would actually allow that.
What's that?
Naming a channel Wet Dreams.
I don't know. Search it up and see, because I'm pretty sure somebody's done got one. I should do a YouTube channel called Dazed and Confused. I'm trying to keep it good and clean tonight there, Osceola. What's up, Big Stank? What's up? That's why you haven't heard me say many cuss words yet. I'm doing pretty good, though, I think. We're about 30 minutes in, and I've only said one, I think.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them named that.
I figured there would be.
Yeah.
The glorious power of YouTube. You like it better when I cuss? Yeah, but you're not supposed to cuss like the first 3 minutes or something in your thing, and then the last 3 minutes at the ending.
Or be using excessive cursing.
Or yeah, and then when you monetize it, you have to put in there that you did use like some curse words, like if you say something like shit or something like that, you know.
Yeah, you got to like age restrict it and make it not for kids. And...
Well, I don't. Mine's not set for kids anyway, so it don't matter. The angry vet when he was working on it, he said that too. Yeah, he was saying that earlier that he needed to work on it.
Now, what's going on with KFAR? I'm lost with him. I mean, the last I knew, he was trying to distance himself away from Wrangler.
I haven't heard much about KFAR. I don't even know what to really think about him.
I mean, I seen a community post he posted earlier saying something about get ready for a big surprise or something that he's working on a video.
No, not really. I don't think.
Yeah, but his actions speak louder than words. He doesn't go on panels with Wrangler anymore. And I mean, in my opinion, I think he like pretty much saying, I'm done with it.
No, he really don't go on there anymore.
No, I mean, I've seen him in chat, but other than that, that don't really mean anything. Before, it seemed like when he was doing they were doing all these videos on the auditors, both of them would be up on panel talking and critiquing it, but lately it's just Wrangler. I agree to a point. We really shouldn't be broadcasting about any war.
What's up, C4T?
I mean, I hated when Iraq and Afghanistan was going on, constantly hearing about it after 9/11. It's like, I felt bad for the people that lost their lives. They should have never really had to go over there, but constantly hearing it and hearing it and hearing it, it's like, it shouldn't be doing that. No, it'll never end. I mean, war will never end. What's been going on over in the Gaza Strip with Israel has been going on for millennia. Yeah, I know. Instead of sending like the 130 billion to Ukraine and Israel, they need to be sending that to Hawaii to help Maui out. All those families that lost everything over there received one check of $700 per family, and that's it. Exo, somebody in another chat said they found him dead. And now they're supposedly, last I heard, they're dragging a river looking for his car.
What are you talking about? Elves?
Oh, something about the Dark Danger Elves says, "Hello, Veterans Affair. We stop in to say we understand if you don't like our name, but don't take it out on our boss. he has an awesome channel showcasing new brands without any drama. I don't know.
Oh. It's amazing how people always claim that that somebody said something somewhere. If they start some shit, you know what to do with them, guys. Put their asses in the back room somewhere permanently.
Here.
Turn them into fertilizer. Hell yeah, turn them into fertilizer. Shit, I'm gonna play a video for y'all guys. He gave me permission to share a video, so I'm gonna show you one from Baltimore County Observer, and that. We'll dive into this a little bit, and I'll make some pauses, and we'll talk about it. Let me go over here so I can lay this out the right way. There we go.
Yes. And that's why it threw me for a loop, that he would violate my rights because of somebody else's feelings.
At a certain point, that First Amendment right is paused, because the thing of it is, what they're going to look at.
There's no pausing. You know what? Go to fuck, dude. There's no pausing the Constitution.
Wow, did you hear that, guys? Did you hear what this guy said? We're not even into the video 30 seconds, and this guy says to pause the Constitution. Holy,
I know.
wow.
Yeah, I mean, I've been hearing rumors that the Biden administration's talking about doing it. Putting a pause on our constitutional right to and Bill of Rights.
So let's get into this a little bit more. Thank you, Baltimore County Observer, for bringing us this video. October 4th, 2022.
How you doing, sir? I'm Corporal Thorne. Just so you know, I have a body camera, just like everybody else. I had to tell you. So, what's going on today?
Actually, I have a video to show you.
Okay.
A couple snippets of videos. Is there somewhere we can go to that I can show you?
I mean, there's nobody else in here.
Okay.
If somebody comes in, we can go somewhere private. But right now, the couple of the rooms seem to be a little busy. But what's going on? Give me an idea what we're talking about.
I was performing some private or public journalism.
Okay.
And I had an incident with Officer Larry where he threatened to arrest me.
Okay.
For videotaping.
Okay.
And or as he said, obstructing or interfering and hindrance is the two charges that he threatened me with.
Okay.
And I'd really like to know what I did wrong and how I can go about the future not having any problems.
Okay. When you say you do private journalism or whatever, just so I have an idea like what you do, I guess, explain to me kind of what your thing is.
I listen to the scanner, and when I hear a call that sounds interesting, me and a buddy of mine go and we record it.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Both for everybody's accountability and everybody's safety.
Okay.
I'm just there to observe. I'm not there to get in the way. I'm not there to put myself in the situation or anything.
Sure.
And I just really like to know what I did wrong.
Okay. No problem. Let me do this because I always like to take notes with everything I do and who I talk to. Do you have an ID just so I know who you are?
I'd like to stay anonymous on this.
Okay.
Just in case there's any kind of retaliation. I will identify myself as the Baltimore County Observer.
Now, did you see that, guys? He already asking him for his ID when he knows that he don't need it. And yeah, I mean, why would you give your ID? I mean, he's just filing a complaint. See, these cops, they want that ID. It's like a massive drug to them. I mean, like a massive drug to them. They just got to have it. It's like crack or something. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what you mean by retaliation. For me, if I come out here, look, so let me explain something to you. I come out here because you come to the desk, you ask for a supervisor, right? If there's a complaint to be
They most
made,
definitely
or
want your
if there's something
info.
that I need to do, like let's just say there's a reprimand issue or something that I need to address, maybe even just a training issue. I like to at least say, hey, I spoke to this individual. He was there. I reviewed all the video. This is what we can do better in the future, right? You know what I mean? I don't think you're a bad guy. I mean, you came in here,
Complaints can be done anonymously.
Okay, they can be, but you're standing in front of me, so it's not so anonymous, is it?
It is until I give you my ID.
Okay. What do you want to show me?
Don't get the messenger. Again, I would prefer to be somewhere a little bit more private than this, but if you want to do it in the lobby, I guess we can.
This is so, just so you understand the anonymity portion of things, okay? Because I'm a professional, just like everyone else, just like you're a professional in whatever field it is or division you're doing, okay? But for me, if I'm going to do anonymity, okay, I'm going to sit down in a room, but I'm going to know who you are because I'm not going to bring you into a room if I don't know who you are. Just like when I work narcotics, I'm going to sign you up as a snitch or an informant. I don't know who you are because you're my informant. Then you get a number. Then you're anonymous. Just so you understand that.
Okay.
Wow. Holy cow. There again, this cop trying to get his ID. And now he says that he's going to treat him like he's a snitch. He's going to treat him like a snitch and give him a number. Unfreaking believable. Unfreaking believable.
So if we're gonna play the anonymous game, we're gonna do what we do with anonymous people. We're gonna stand right here where we're doing our thing. Okay.
That's fine. Okay. Started off. There was 2 calls.
Mhm.
Okay. The first one was for a homeless man that got assaulted up at the mall.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and play with the video here. I will say that I've never, in all the times that I've gone out, I've never had any problems with anybody. Everything's been great. Officers have been exemplary.
Mhm.
Even with this portion here, you got Officer Leary right there in the back. I'm not sure who that officer is. This part of the interaction, when we were done, I told my buddy, I said, look, we're going to end up having 50 million videos of cops doing a great job.
Mhm.
You know, my channel's going to be boring, in other words, you know. He handled this great. His interaction with the homeless guy and offering help and everything like that, great.
Okay.
Didn't have any problems. My next interaction.
What type of camera you're using? It's pretty good footage.
That's just my phone.
Oh, okay.
Okay, this is where we were at the apartment complex.
You using a gimbal or anything? Because it seems pretty steady.
I have a monopod, but I don't have it down. I'm just holding it.
Nice.
And I'm new to this,
Mhm.
to the whole recording in public and everything. So much so that I tend to stand back so far that I can't even really hear.
Right.
You know, I'm trying to give everybody their space. I'm
Mhm.
trying not to interfere or anything like this. Let me get to the point where.
How many people thinks that he's being too nice to this cop right now and giving him too much information, even though he's really not saying anything? How many people thinks that he's being too nice to this cop? Put a 1 in the room if you think he's being too nice to this pig. Hello, Gregory. Gregory says 15. So do you think being nice to this guy and everything is going to get him anywhere? I don't know. I don't think. I don't know. I was nice to cops the last time I done one, and yeah. Well, I understand that a little bit nicer is not too bad, but you know, I just don't think it's gonna. Yeah. Hello, UK.
Okay, even this officer here, hi, how you doing? Nobody has a problem with what I'm doing. And you see I'm standing so far back that I can barely hear him. Because I can. Just documenting.
Well, at least they got the good American flag up there.
I'm not disrespecting anybody. Bro, public. I'm not interfering. You're interfering with physical act. No, that's your problem, dude. That's not my problem. I'm not. Am I in public? Am I in public? Am I in public? Yes or no? You can talk to me. I'm not stopping you. I'm not stopping you. Feel free.
Walk away.
Is that a lawful order? Is that lawful?
order.
What's your badge number?
Walk away.
What's your name and badge number?
Officer Leary, goodbye before you land in handcuffs.
For recording. Constitutional protected activity.
So
Where's the police tape?
if you want to stop it right there, I can just give you a
Well,
quick.
we're not done yet. I'm not
Okay.
stopping him.
Walk away before I knock you up. Now, go.
Now, is that the way a police officer should talk to the press? I'm going. I'm back so far. I'm not saying a word until other people interact with me.
One more time. You're going to jail.
For what? And I'm being threatened with jail.
Mhm. I hear him.
I'm in public, dude.
I don't care.
And he don't care.
Investigation.
Feel free.
You are butting in.
I'm not butting in. I'm standing over here being quiet.
You need to
I'm
walk
standing
away.
over here being quiet. I didn't say one word.
Now, walk away.
Where?
Wherever you please, as long as you ain't here messing with my
This
investigation.
is where I please. And that was basically the end of it.
Okay. So I mean, I appreciate you showing me that. So if I can offer you some constructive criticism and take this.
Before this cop goes into cop explaining and everything, what do y'all think about that? The video he just showed. Do you think the officer on the video that he's showing in this video was out of line? Put a 1 in the room. I would say, just my opinion, absolutely was out of line.
Oh yeah, all those cops at night were.
All up in his face. He wasn't even bothering nobody, man. He was just minding his own business, you know? Sitting there recording from a distance. You seen how far away he was. He wasn't hurting nobody. And this cop just comes over and just wigs out. Starts losing his dang mind. I mean, it's unreal. Why is this cop just like freaking out? Well, let's hear what this guy that's taking the complaint. Let's see what his constructive criticism is.
As a trading point. Okay.
Yeah,
For
'cause I
what
do
you're
wanna
doing. Press have legitimate credentials. I don't know if you have that first off, just so you're aware.
The First Amendment gives me credentials.
The first thing out of this guy's mouth, press has legitimate credentials. Oh my God. Wow. Guys, y'all are getting my honest reaction. I've not seen this video before, but damn.
You know how easy it is to
Wow.
make press credentials sitting at home with Photoshop and paint?
Oh,
Sorry, not with like MSNBC or CNN or Fox with the big fake media.
that was funny.
I understand, but I'm saying like if you deem yourself getting into other areas in the future, you may want to look into maybe doing something more legitimate where you have something,
As long
right?
as I'm in public, I can record anything I can see.
I'm offering you some constructive criticism. If you
Okay.
want me to,
I'm
I'm not trying to engage in a dialogue. I'm actually going to try to give you some pointers.
Okay.
Because if you're going to end up in an area that may actually get you a little closer, you're going to want those credentials. That's what I'm telling you. Okay. In the instance of this particular scene, I actually don't disagree with anything the officer did, and I'm going to tell you why. I absolutely agree with you. The First Amendment gives you a right to record, right? You can stand wherever up until a certain time. And the reason why I consider this correct in Officer Leary's perspective is because he actually doesn't engage you first. You did walk by an officer and you weren't bothering anybody at that point in time. I completely agree with you. What happened was the nature of the incident and the person they were speaking to was involved in a crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or there was a crime that had occurred, or we're investigating a crime that had occurred.
Mm-hmm.
When that person then takes their attention away from us and actually try to determine if a crime occurred, what occurred, does somebody need to go to jail, somebody injured, right?
Mhm.
All those major aspects of an emergency or a crime or an incident. The citizen directed their attention to you first and asked you not to record. Again, it is your right, but if it prohibits them from telling us the facts we need to continue our investigation, which it did, and it sounds like there might have even been like a male that interjected as well.
Son was up on the balcony above.
So when their attention is diverted from us trying to gain the knowledge of what actually occurred and the facts, and I actually reviewed a little bit more camera from this incident before I came out here, just so you understand, like there was a sergeant in the next building trying to obtain the other half of facts. So like we're trying to put a whole story together to determine what really happened, right? So at that point, if they're not going to engage us, they'd rather engage you. And now we're in this dialogue back and forth over your right to record them, which, I get your point, your perspective, but now that has stopped our investigation. We need to find out what happened, right? And the elements of the call were good enough that you said, hey, I should probably go to that. Like this might be a good one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that could mean somebody could be injured because it could be what you would consider a hot call or a good call. There could be a pretty significant crime that occurred, and those are things we can't stop what we're doing to worry about somebody worrying about you, right? So if your proximity to what's going on is causing us to have to stop what we're doing in that investigation, that is hindering. So him explaining that to you first and saying, listen, like I don't care where you go, and obviously I don't think it bothered him because if you notice, he kept walking back away and really wasn't concerned where you were standing. It was the other people. But that's what prohibits us from doing our investigation. And if we can't get that out.
If you think this cop that is explaining this stuff to him is full of shit, put a 1 in the room if you think this cop is full of shit.
Oh, this cop's full of caca. A lot of caca. Why are they worried about somebody filming the scene? They shouldn't be worrying about that. They should be doing what they need to be doing.
If walking by a police officer and you continue on down far enough away to where you're not bothering nobody and you start recording, takes that officer's attention away from what he is doing so he can come yell at a man with a camera, then there's something wrong with the officer doing the investigation. He needs to be pushing paper instead of out trying to investigate crimes.
That or he needs ADHD meds or ADD meds.
Because he was definitely far enough away. He could barely hear what's going on. And if you want my opinion from what I've seen, the cop was just trying to exert his authority and trying to cop explain, just like this clown is.
Out of the
You
victim.
know why he's
whoever
telling
they
them to
were
go
in this
get
particular
media
incident.
credentials?
I didn't watch enough to tell you one way or another who they were or
What's
what their
that?
involvement was, but they were
Your pause
significant
it real
enough that
quick.
we needed to speak to them right then and there.
He's telling them to go get fake media credentials because fake media will listen to what the cops have to say and they can push their narrative, and they know that news station will do it. That's why he's telling them to go get actual credentials,
Right.
to go work for a news agency.
Well, yeah, so they can tell the press what they want and write down their narrative.
Yeah.
Those facts, that's where you are wrong. Now,
I'd like to speak as soon as you're done.
sure, absolutely. The next bit of, criticism I may have with that is, and again, this is new for you, and I understand that, but, being that it's kind of an amateur hobby at this point for you with just your phone, you can't hear things, which actually makes you have to get a little bit closer. And sometimes maybe that is too close in this instance where the victim or whoever they were at this point, suspect, I don't know, whoever we were interviewing, at that point felt uncomfortable enough to stop their attention to us, but divert it to you. if you would consider maybe even investing in some better equipment where they actually have like long range microphones. I'm actually really in tune with some of this technology from a different employment that I had. But you could actually stand 30, 40 yards backwards. I don't even realize what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
So
And
I
you
gotta
actually
sta-
get,
So I got to stand in the shadows in order to.
not always. I mean,
Okay.
how,
And
perfect
can I-
example.
can
A
I
perfect example is when
interject
you're
a
at the
little bit?
mall, right? You were pretty close and didn't bother a soul, right?
No,
And sometimes it just
I was pretty
matters-
far.
And sometimes,
I wasn't close.
and I'm sure there's times you've gotten
There's-
closer.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start speaking now because I think I've been pretty patient with what listening to what you have to say.
I watched your whole video, sir. I've been pretty patient too, so I don't want you to get upset because you're not hearing what
I
you
just
want to
have
hear.
questions, Okay.
Okay.
When the lady asked why I was recording and everything, why didn't the officer, I mean, just as a suggestion, say, ma'am, we're in public. He has every right to record. If you'd like to speak to me in a more private area, let's go somewhere more private.
So
Instead of being in public where everybody and their mother can record.
I think perhaps some of the facts of the incident, someone may have been inside where we could not have possibly walked in more private. Okay.
Everybody else, like you said,
Things also got agitated. I mean, she's raising her voice, her son's raising her voice. We don't need
but it's not
hostility.
because anything that I did. I was standing there being quiet. I was standing there. I wasn't saying a word until they got their feelings hurt. And their feelings are not going to trump my constitutional rights.
But their feelings are what are prohibiting us as the police from conducting a lawful investigation.
But I wasn't
Oh,
breaking the law.
Jesus criminy.
And I was threatened with
Okay,
arrest.
but that's
Then
where
go send them in
that's
the
where
cruise.
you're wrong. Okay. As soon as
Hindrance, like you said, is a physical act. I've looked it up.
Okay.
I've done my research. Interference is a physical act. I have to physically get in the way of somebody performing their duties.
Okay.
You cannot verbally interfere. You cannot verbally hinder.
let me make sure that I'm explicitly clear because I don't want you to get into trouble. Like if this is a hobby, you enjoy doing this, and I think there could be a lot of positive.
I just want to know.
I think there could be a lot of positive to what you're doing.
And being very far away from people, like you said, so
This
far.
damn cop's already trying to
that I
assert
might
his
need
authority.
better equipment in order
You-
to do this.
You do.
You know,
And this is why, because if you were to have been a little further away, that maybe it didn't divert the attention from the woman who we were speaking to and her son, that caused them to stop speaking to us.
so you're saying I have to hide?
I'm not saying you have to hide.
Well, if you
But
don't
in
want
that
me to be
partic-
in the way that somebody can see me, then I would have to hide.
Well, in this particular incident, you were wherever you were that diverted the attention of the people we need to gain information to determine if a crime had occurred, which prohibited us from actually conducting a lawful investigation. And that is what hindering is. That is the act. The act is you literally being there. And even though you do have a constitutional right to film, right? I completely agree with you. But at that point in time, it prohibited us from conducting a lawful investigation, which no longer gives you the right to be physically where you were because it was
The
creating,
Constitution
because it
gives
was,
us the right.
but if it's creating a hindrance or an obstruction to us
I wasn't
conducting,
hindered. That's
so you
what I'm
came here for
saying.
clarity. I'm
No,
giving
I
you what the law is,
understand
okay?
that, but I wasn't doing anything but standing there recording
I
with my
understand.
mouth shut. I wasn't doing anything.
You engaged in some dialogue, but again,
Okay.
Yeah,
I-
obviously.
I'm not
So,
saying,
It'd be better for me just to keep my mouth shut, is what you're saying,
well,
and not.
I don't
interact when
have
people
a
say, "Why
problem
are
with you
recording?"
talking to people because if
But
this is the
that's
thing,
what got me in trouble, right?
no, that's what you're not understanding. So I'm gonna
not understanding.
Okay.
Because on one hand, I'm
You're-
standing there minding.
let me explain
my
it.
own
Let me
business.
try to explain it again in a different way. Maybe it'll click because what you're doing is legal up until a point in time. Okay.
Until what point?
That point in time was as soon as we had to stop what we were doing and speaking to the people that we were speaking with.
This
Because we're
cop is
conducting
so
a lawful
full of crap.
investigation, right? We're trying to determine if a crime had occurred. Are there people injured? Do people need our help? If we can't continue that course of action effectively because now their attention has been diverted, and in this case it was you, for whatever reason,
Listen.
but you didn't have to do anything.
Their attention was the woman is the one that brought all this on by asking why I was recording. Okay. What I was doing was just standing there being quiet. I was way off in the distance.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
So
but
I don't
where-
understand how
But where you become hindering or obstructing a lawful investigation is if we can no longer speak to her because she is so engaged in you, being a third party, even though you were following your First Amendment rights.
That's where, as an officer, he needs to tell that lady, just like he said, hey, he has a right to record in public. You need to focus on what we got going on right here. Don't worry about what he's doing. Let's focus on this thing right here. You're the one under the investigation, not the man with the camera. Don't worry about what he's doing. It's his First Amendment rights. He has a right to record in public because there is no expectations of privacy in public.
At that point in time, we have to time out because we need to determine what
He
happened.
handled it wrong.
By
Instead of coming
telling-
after me for recording, why didn't he just tell her, ma'am, we're in public. He has the right to record. If you don't want to be recorded, let's go somewhere more private.
Because at that point, we could say we could have tried that.
Yes.
Okay.
You could have tried that.
However-
Instead of
however-
threatening to arrest somebody for journalism.
Okay. However, if walking up to and saying, listen, I'm conducting a lawful investigation at this point, it's creating a hindrance with the people that I'm trying to speak to, which is very important,
They were
Can you
creating
back
hindrance,
up?
Not me.
sir. And
They were
asking you
creating
to back
hindrance.
up,
I
then
wasn't
that
doing anything wrong.
then that is the officer's prerogative, and lawfully he has the right to do that. I just want to make
so
sure you
lawfully,
understand.
He has
Bullshit.
the right
Yes,
to arrest me
yes,
for recording in public, is
Bullshit.
what you're saying.
he has the right to arrest you
For
if you're
recording in
hindering and obstructing a lawful
I wasn't
investigation.
hindering and instructing. I was standing there being quiet.
At this point, look, I understand you came here for clarity. I hope I offered some to you. Maybe
No, you've really done the opposite.
Okay, well,
You
I've been
really showed me
explicitly
how much
clear.
this department cares about the Constitution.
Oh, I care very much. But if I can't speak to a victim, suspect, or someone involved in a crime that I'm investigating, and I have to stop what I'm doing to address you because it's creating a distraction, an obstruction,
Because what's
a
creating
hindrance,
Yep.
just your mere presence.
my recording, right? My
Why not put him in a
constitutional right.
cruiser?
Sure,
take
but
him
you
to
can
the big
still
stage.
do that. But this is what you're missing. Okay, this is
No,
what you're missing.
You're missing something.
I'm not
dude.
missing a
The
thing, sir.
Constitution gives me the right to do this, and if it hurts somebody's feelings, that's on them.
Well,
That's not on
it's
me.
not if I have to stop what I'm doing.
Because
address
somebody
you.
else,
Yes.
not because of me, but because of somebody else's feelings.
A perfect example is right now. I understand you feel that you're right, but you also have to understand that there are other sides to this. There are other perspectives. There are other legalities, right? You are right in what you're doing sometimes,
Blah, blah, blah.
but sometimes you have stepped too close, and it's
And-
not
and
your
here-
it's not
here-
your say what is too close. It's not. In this
Here's what
instance,
really
it was
got me.
explicitly clear that it was creating a hindrance or an obstruction because those
Here-
people
here-
stopped talking to us.
Here's what really got me.
You could have
The
walked
first
away.
call- Oh,
You
I
could
could
have.
have.
You could have moved back and kept
I could
recording.
have stayed home
You
that
wouldn't have
night.
bothered to assault.
I could have went to the store.
Report
you
said
didn't.
10 feet.
And it
I
further
didn't.
created a problem.
I chose to document.
If you want my
things.
personal, like what
Okay.
I would have done
What
watching
really
that
gets
video,
me is he just saw me on the other call. He saw what I was doing. He saw that I was being quiet. He saw that I was keeping my distance.
Mhm. And it was no
he
issue,
took-
was it?
and there was no issue.
Exactly.
I was doing the same thing at the second one.
okay,
He saw what I was doing.
but you have to understand
He saw
something.
that I wasn't saying anything. He saw that I was at a distance, and yet he chose to take this lady's
Okay, and
concern out on me instead of putting her at rest and put her fears at rest by saying, "Ma'am, we're in public."
and
He
do
has
you
every
now
right to do
understand
so."
why? Why
No,
is
I
not
don't
him?
understand
It's not
why.
him. He had to divert his attention from his investigation because the people he was speaking to had the problem with you. That is the hindrance.
So
Wow,
their
this
feelings
got
trump
caught,
my
I swear.
constitutional rights. That's what you're saying. That's
Pretty
what I'm
much
getting from all
you
this.
just wanted to
Well, their
enforce
feelings are their
feelings.
feelings, but what matters is the fact that we can no longer investigate because their attention has been diverted to you, and you are now
That's not
engaged
my
in a dialogue.
It's not my problem. It's not my
Well, that is your
concern.
opinion, but the
It's-
law
it's-
says
it's not-
otherwise.
It's
And
not
at that
my
point,
doing.
I feel like I've offered you a solid 25-minute training session on what the law is.
Your idea of what the law is.
No, I work here. I know what the law is, and if you want my personal opinion, after the first time I told you to move back, and then after the
Nobody,
second time,
evidently you
I
don't.
wouldn't have told you a second time. I would have locked you up, straight up. I'm
And
just
I-
being.
Take
Wow.
you about 6 years
You
of
would,
law
yeah,
school,
you would
then
that.
come back and
I-
tell me that.
Did you
Maybe
just hear
your
what he
interpretation
said?
of the law, but that ain't what the law is.
He said,
There are
I wouldn't have
multiple
told
different
you a
cases.
second time. I would have locked you up straight up.
Yeah, okay. You have
Wow.
the United States Supreme Court that says 10 feet is precise for recording the cops. You got multiple other cases saying 8 feet and 6 feet are precise and cannot be considered obstruction or hindering.
Oh, yeah. I definitely laughed, Transparency, when he said, I know what the law is, because evidently not. Evidently not.
Okay, he knows what the law is in his own mind because a lot of laws are gray zone, right? They're open for interpretation. You can interpret it one way, I can interpret it one way. 5 different lawyers can interpret it their way, and so can judges. Law's not clear cut and dry.
That is crazy. This
Enforce
cop,
somebody's
man.
feelings. Why didn't the cops take him down to the police station into interrogation and talk to him there?
Why didn't the cop just tell him, ma'am, he has a right, a First Amendment right to record in public, and it's his constitutional rights. You have constitutional rights also. But right now, he is not bothering you. He's not hindering anybody. And yeah, don't worry about him. Focus on what we're doing right here. I guarantee it. The lady was a Karen. I'd like to see the body cam footage from the cop that went ballistic and that.
Yeah, the only problem is they're not going to release probably the body cam footage.
Well, actually, he had interactions with that cop, so they have to give it to him.
Yeah, but with the active criminal investigation, they'll deny it.
Yeah, that's a bullshit way of saying, oh, we're not giving you anything, and
Yeah.
the laws have allowed it, which is BS.
I would have won, and I would have taken your qualified immunity, because knowing that you're taking away my constitutional rights.
Is there
and doing so
anything else
anyways,
that I can help you with today? Because
Not
at this
at all.
point, I feel like I've given you a very good education. I've reviewed everything that you've brought into
No.
the station.
you-
I
you-
do
you've given me
appreciate
very
what
clear-
you do,
very much
because I think
clarity
that
when
it
it
shows
comes
some
to-
positive, light on what we do as police, and also, it holds some accountability to everybody.
You know,
However,
I have several
I've offered
videos
you a
where
very good
cops have
education as to
done
what the
such
law
a
is.
Great job.
I think I would rather trust the civil rights lawyer on the laws before I
And that's
trust
why I
this
said, I
cop.
think what you're doing overall is actually a positive thing.
I'm not here to be any way. I just want to document what's going on. Just observe. That's why I chose my name.
The key-
Baltimore County Observer.
And the key
If
is,
somebody attacks you guys, if you guys attack somebody else, I just want to be there to get it on tape
well, and the key
and
is,
not get involved.
if we ask you to just step back because for whatever reason it's creating a hindrance, whatever
You're
that
asking me to
is,
step back to the point where I can't get my story. I can't get the sound.
then you need to buy better equipment.
Okay. All right.
Fair?
Thank you for your time.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
And I will buy better equipment.
No, that's good. That's good. Like I said, I think there's positive into what
Make
you're doing.
sure that you let the people know that there are people like me around.
Sure.
And when they're off just recording and minding their own business, leave them alone.
Until
Just leave it
it breaks the law, right? And then
And
we,
what was your name again?
it's Corporal Thorne. Yes, sir.
4868.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Corporal
Enjoy the rest of your day.
You too.
Oh my gosh.
Stay safe.
I'm actually gonna see if it's still raining because it's,
No, it's not. It's
no?
ugly outside. So. No, really, man. I'm not here to cause any trouble. Or
No,
anything.
you're fine.
I just want to know what I don't understand what I did wrong by keeping my distance so much for the fact that I'm really not getting much of a story. I'm not interfering with anybody.
That's the sucky part about journalism too, though, because sometimes you get the shot, right? But sometimes you don't, and sometimes you're in the right place at the right time, and sometimes you're not.
Sometimes you get threatened with arrest for constitutional protection.
And some of the best, but you know what though? If you Google some journalism,
and the fact that my equipment's not good shouldn't have any dealings with whether I was doing something legal or not.
Well, I think having better equipment is what, in an instance where, hey, you know what, I bothered them, they asked me to step back, I can do that because I can still get my story if I step back because my equipment is now eligible.
Okay, but how far is far enough?
And
the
that's
Supreme Court has said that it's close. They don't put a footage on it
because there isn't, and this is why.
Because it depends on the situation.
Exactly.
It depends.
And
I
let's
am a
just
little
say,
bit educated.
yeah, no, 100%.
Okay,
So let's
if
just say,
you're in an armed standoff with somebody, I can't be 10 feet away from you.
right.
But in other situations, I can be 10 feet away. I'm giving you guys 30 feet.
It's not us
You
in that
know,
instance. You didn't bother the officer to the point where he
I
had,
obviously
you
did.
bothered
He
us to the
threatened
point
me
where,
with arrest, and I wasn't
because
doing
we couldn't finish our investigation.
But it wasn't because of anything that I was doing. I wasn't
No, it
talking
was
to the
solely.
I wasn't, going out telling people, hey, don't do this and don't do that, and
You don't
you don't have the
to.
right to do that, and you keep your mouth shut, and all this other stuff. I was just standing there, being as quiet as I can, because I know that I'm not going to be able to hear much, so I need to be quiet so that I can hear.
I understand.
Okay,
But if it stopped what we were doing, which
so
it did,
I need some mega microphone now.
they
And
make
a
some.
long lens so that I can hang out in the shadows and get my story.
Sometimes you don't have to, though, do you? Sometimes you can get right up in there, and it doesn't bother a soul. And you know what? We allow you
So
to
it
do that.
depends on. It depends
We allow
on-
you to
It's
do
all
that. Oh,
situational,
wow.
sir.
No, he didn't.
Sometimes you may walk up to a scene and no one cares what you're doing, right? And we don't care. Film away. We all have cameras, right? And sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes your perspective helps us because you see the whole picture that
That's my
this little
point.
thing doesn't always see.
That was my point.
But
like I said, if
in
somebody were to attack
this-
you, your body cameras
You
only
might not see
show
it.
so much.
Oh, yeah,
because
no, totally.
It's right up close. What you need is that third-person view.
But what you just have to understand is, like, in this particular instance, it bothered whoever we were talking to enough that we had to divert our
hurt their
attention.
feelings. That's not my problem.
But it becomes our problem legally because
Then all
we
you
can't
gotta
get
say
that
is, man,
information.
we're in public.
But that doesn't solve it. We have to
It
stop what we're
does
doing,
solve it.
But he didn't even try.
sir. But you got to understand, at that point, as a journalist, you're not a part of this investigation. You're
documenting.
but you're the immediate remedy to the situation. You can still film.
So it's easier to tell me to leave than it is to explain to her that she's in public.
The thing is, we're
That's
there.
bullshit.
It is.
I'm just telling you.
And that's taking away my constitutional rights.
But is it though? And this is why. Because if you
There's case
stand
law.
across the street, you can still film me from here. You can. You can.
See, what you're not taking into consideration is right now I have a lawsuit
Okay.
and I could win and I can take away his qualified immunity. I don't want to do that. I'd rather have this conversation and try to make things better for both of us in the future.
Well, I feel like I've done a really good job of explaining it to you. I'm not discrediting what you're
You've done
doing.
a great job of cop explaining. You're right.
So if there's anything else I can do for you,
you've really taught me nothing except for don't trust you guys.
well, I'm sorry that you feel that way.
And I don't want to feel that way.
I don't want you
Like
to feel
I
that
said,
way either.
I'm out here trying to show the good along with the bad. And this was the first out of probably a dozen interactions that I've had so far that's gone bad.
I don't think this has
everything
gone bad.
else-
I'm not mad at you at all.
No. I'm talking about the not this.
Mhm.
Officer Leary
Okay.
situation was the first, and that threw me for a loop because he just saw me at the other call.
Mhm.
He knew what I was doing. He was a cool cop to handle the
He's a great cop, actually. He is.
Yeah, they're all
why he
great
threw me
cops.
for a loop. That he
Yeah, they're all great cops until they're home beating their wife or kicking the dog or tasing the dog, the neighbor's
Abusing their
dog or
kids.
something. Yeah, or pepper spraying them. Yeah, they're all good cops. Yep, they're all good cops.
violate my rights because of somebody else's feelings.
At a certain point, that First Amendment right is paused because the thing of it is what they're going to
There's
look at.
no pausing. You know what? Go to fucking hell, dude. There's no pausing the fucking Constitution. And if you think that, you need to go back to training.
If you want to keep cussing at me and screaming outside, causing a scene, I'll bring you inside. But I'll bring you inside in handcuffs.
For
Wow.
words.
I mean, if it stops this neighborhood, I'll lock you up for disorderly.
You're gonna arrest me for
You can keep
words?
running your mouth.
Wow.
At this point, I'm gonna escort you right off this property. Watch where you're walking. You're gonna trip.
Yeah, he don't-
What a jackass. What a jackass. No, evidently not,
Okay.
UK.
Can you take down?
Wow. And then he mutes his body cam, so you can't hear what he's saying.
Yeah.
If you want, just draw the disturbance. Use the precinct address. Can attach me as primary. And, attach that tag to it, please.
You can't be a complaining of. Wait a minute. This clown, he can't be a complaining of disturbing the peace. He was perfectly within his
No.
rights to tell that cop to go F himself. Jesus. You see what they do, ladies and gentlemen? This is why we have bad cops. Unfreaking real. Unfreaking real.
Yeah, they interpret the law the way they want
It
And
is.
that's why
Now I'm gonna tell you something, guys. If that doesn't make you mad, there's something wrong. I'd have been in handcuffs because I'd have stood there. I'd have stood there and told him to go fuck off. That's unreal. See how insane cops are, man? Sometimes they just don't get it. It's easier for them to cop explain. So easy for them to explain what damn. That's nuts. Unfreaking believable. Oh, well, hello. Sorry, I was reading the email. How you doing? Hope everybody's doing good. Unbelievable. Just unfreaking believable.
to. I love StreamYard.
Right? And this guy was a corporal. They sent out that little corporal there, and see, the reason these cops act like that is because they have qualified immunity. They don't care. Yeah, I'm wondering Hippie's a good guy. I'm subscribed to him. Insane. And no, I'm not triggered by that. I'm just chatting about it. That's just yeah. Yeah, absolutely a tyrant, without a doubt. 100% bad cop.
You there, Nightmare?
I'm here. Can you not hear me? That's it. Rank means nothing, UK. Exactly. Because they're not military. That's why. They're absolutely 100% not military. Yep, just there for a paycheck. Yep. Yeah. Yeah, he goes, I think I gave you a great education. I think somebody needs to give him an education because, yeah, he doesn't know the interpretation of the law right. Remember, guys, back the blue. Bear back the blue. I mean, back the blue. Yeah, bullshit till it happens to you.
Yeah.
Oh, why ain't you listening to me? I'm trying to cop explain why I'm right and you're wrong. Okay. Have a good night, Mountain Girl. Have a good bite. I think you meant night. Yeah. I was going to say, have a good bite. What are we eating? Woohoo. Woo-hoo. Yeah, and then there were 7. That's all right.
Oh, they've gotten the memos, but They've sent memos out to watch out for them and try to charge them with whatever they can.
Yep. Oh, hell no. Cops absolutely just don't get it sometimes, I don't think. Or they get it, they just don't care.
Yeah, but it don't help if like the Department of Homeland Security, FBI, NSA sending them memos saying, hey, these guys are domestic terrorists. Find any way to arrest them and charge them. We can't have our info out there, pretty much.
Oh yeah, they treat everybody like that. Even their own. You don't think another cop won't throw another cop under the bus? Oh yeah. Oh my goodness, UK, what'd you tell them? You kindly declined their request? That's awesome. Hey, if they were going to pay you for it, though, I mean, you know. I'd be like, how much money are you going to give me? I'd be like, tell me now. Tell me how much money you're going to give me. Well, maybe they thought the cop was doing a good job. Okay, I couldn't even say that with a straight face. Well, sometimes that happens. You find that rare beauty. Watch out a little bit.
Reminds me. Wondering how he's doing.
Huh?
Oh, this 26-year-old cop that ran towards gunfire during a bank robbery.
Well, that's not good.
Yeah, and I was seeing if he's been released from the hospital yet.
Yeah, and that's why it's put on Lame Street Media, because they show the cops being good cops, when even if they're bad. Allegedly. Make sure y'all have hit that like button, guys, and gave it a thumbs up.
All that. At least that's good. He went home.
Mm.
And he's never going to be a cop anymore or a firefighter.
If you like what you hear, the best way to support this channel is to hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you hadn't done also already. And if you'd like to send a little support, my link tree for all of our applications are in the top, pinned in the comments there. Super chats are appreciated, but not expected. Or you can become a member for starting at 99 cents. Hello, Barbara. How are you? No trolls. Haven't seen any trolls.
I think they're all over in Brooklyn.
Probably. Dun, 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 dun. What in the fudge is Oh, your legs need stretched. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Anybody else is alive?
Do what?
I'm wondering if anybody else is alive.
Oh, I don't have a clue. Don't have a clue. Sometimes you just never know. About time it all caught on fire. What, your hair? Lord. Why would you want your hair to yes, that's my scanner. Yeah, I listen to my police scanner at night.
Thanks for reminding me. I gotta go check something.
They were talking about something and I turned it up just to see if it was close. You're drunk? Okay. No worries. I was drunk once.
I think that's ours. No, that was Henderson. Screw Henderson. There's ours.
C4T said all nighter. I don't know. We're almost 2 hours in and I'm already ready to quit. Mainly because I'm going to be out of cigarettes. And don't have, mainly because I'm going to be out of cigarettes and don't have the money to go get none. Hey, at least I'm being honest.
Not yet, but
Manufactured crack, yeah, it's pretty much. Everybody's got their own devices, though. Oh, I had to turn that fan off. Hey, I turned my air conditioner. I turned my air conditioner off this tonight, which means I'll probably sleep with my fan on.
I mean, yeah. Let's move these. Oh, that's how it's getting over here to UK. They're going to encrypted systems, and there's no way to listen to them.
Well, that's because they don't want you to hear. They don't want us to listen to them.
Yeah, but enough news agencies and everything need to just sue the crap out of them and get them to reopen them.
Yeah, but they're not going to do that, though.
Pretty much every news station in Chicago has a lawsuit against the city.
I sued the city
encrypted.
once.
And they're using a bunch of case law where other agencies sued the police and cities for doing it.
The courts have already.
There was one case back in the 70s when LAPD went to encrypted on analog. Courts told them either you give them a police radio that can't transmit or program their scanners to where they can listen.
Because Louisville just went fully encrypted, and they're rebroadcasting it on a 15-minute delay. Chicago's trying to get around the court case by doing a 30-minute delay and rebroadcasting it.
Yeah, I get that too. I can understand having it for like passing personal information. Yeah, I can get it for that. But like everything else should be open.
Like your main dispatch channel should be open, car to car. That's why you have like your TAC channels. Okay, I can understand that for like SWAT in certain instances. You should be over on those. Like the patient health information from EMS to the hospital. Yeah, that should be encrypted.
Absolutely.
I mean, I believe in the main, because the main dispatch stuff, usually they put enough information to get them there. Most of the other times they send all that to their
Computers in their car with a lot more information than they say over the radio.
Right. Yeah, just when they give out an address, nobody knows who's living there. I mean, Hell, you can, if you get the address, you can, addresses are public anyway, you know,
Yeah.
pretty much. I mean, unless you knew somebody that lived at that address or whatever.
Yeah. And most of the time, I've never really heard them ever put addresses out over here. It's usually general areas.
They do here.
Most of the calls here, it's like, respond to the 3500 block of Frederica. There's a fight in progress. I mean, I can understand that. If you're using it to chase them down, you probably shouldn't be doing it, honestly.
Well, they used to have scanner tracers all the time. You know, lawyers and things like that. That was a big deal back in the day.
Yeah. But most of the time, now you may hear generalized what's going on. It's not really a good idea to just start showing up on scenes. You may not get all the pertinent information of what's actually going on.
Right. And I get that. Like, if I was listening to a scanner and was going to film anyway, or film what's going on, I wouldn't, like some calls I wouldn't go to. Like that one night I was cop watching and stuff. Like, if it's a domestic, no, screw that, because you never know what's going to happen in a domestic, you know?
Yeah. I mean, even if I was going to go chase all the cops around here, your code R's, code blacks, and your domestic stuff, I wouldn't go after.
Or a lot of like,
Signal ones
Ooh,
or
yeah.
signal S's. It's bad when I can sit here and listen to these guys' radio codes and I know what they're talking about. But around here, it seems like most of the calls that do come across the scanners are some type of domestic disturbance or fights or shots fired.
Oh yeah, that happened a lot. The no fee fucking, oh, you got a great lawsuit, blah 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 kind of deal.
Yeah.
People filing frivolous lawsuits over nothing. I think people like that file dumb lawsuits, by golly, should be forced to have to pay when they bring up dumb shit like that.
Actually, it does happen. They don't have to pay. After a while, if you're filing frivolous lawsuits in the court system, they will make you bring in your case in front of a judge. And the judge will look over everything and give you the okay to file or not.
Yeah. I just think that there's a lot of bullshit lawsuits.
Yeah. I need to get me a scanner so I can chase structure fire calls.
Yeah.
Even though if people are going to chase those type of calls, stay downwind from the smoke. Unless you want to end up with cancer.
Hello,
This
Reaper.
stuff's nasty.
Yeah, people don't realize how nasty that smoke can be.
Yeah, I mean, you're breathing in plastics, arsenic, bleach.
Yeah.
If you can think of a chemical, it's probably in that smoke being produced. That's why they say firefighters have about 50% more chance of dying from cancer than the general public.
Exactly, because of all the stuff that you can inhale.
It's not even just inhaling. What still goes through the bunker gear, gets on your skin and gets absorbed. That stuff, it's nasty.
Oh, I know.
Sometimes it takes 2 to 3 days to get that smell out of you.
Yep, especially if it gets in your pores.
Yeah. Because I was on a wildland fire, 1,000-acre one. Didn't realize an ember went up my pant leg, got between my boot and my pants, and ended up burning me. I didn't even know it happened until I went home, started washing all the soot and everything else off my body, found it. It's like, I need to go get that looked at.
It just depends. Like when I was doing volunteer fire department, if we went to one and if we went to one that we suspected was a meth lab, they wouldn't even let us go in. We just watched it burn.
Yeah.
From a distance.
The smell of the smoke. I mean, I took a shower after I got burnt, went to the hospital, and they thought the hospital was on fire because they smelled something burning. It's like, nothing's on fire here. It's probably me because I just got off of a fire. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, because we'd watch it from a distance, make sure it didn't burn anything else down, and then just call in hazmat.
Yeah, that's pretty much what we did too. It's like, if it was a hazmat situation, pretty much like, all right, we're going downwind. We're going to block it off, let hazmat come in.
I don't know what you're on, but there's a lot of static. I copied Independence Road as a 1042 on switch radios.
Independence Road, a 1042.
Traffic accident?
10 Independence Road. Give me front door, alarm. They did to call the homeowners, no answer. I've been to try to call them now.
Possible burglaring process.
Yeah.
And back, if I remember right, back in Kansas, 1042 was a car wreck. 1042 was non-injury. 1045 was injury.
Well, that's 14 miles away from me. So.
By the time you get there, it'd be over.
Yep. It's a business.
And I bet you it was either a bat or a mouse that set off the motion detector or chewed through a wire. Or a squirrel.
Didn't call back, no answer.
Actually, no, that's a residence. Sorry. I hope everything's okay.
Damn it, Chester, the cat. Quit chasing the mice and setting off the motion detectors.
Radio check.
Radio check.
16 county, that's better.
Of course, that's probably like 5 minutes old by the time I'm hearing this anyway. So
Minimum. I wish it would give you the time, because then you can figure out what the delay is.
yeah,
Because Broadcastify is the one that does almost every single scanner app out there. The minimum is 2.5, like 2 minute or 2.5 minute delay. Standard on it. And then you can set it to whatever you want.
well, like last year we was listening to I was listening to the scanner, and they had these people that they were living in an old motel. They had to move in there because their house had burnt, and the family needed this and that and whatever and blah blah blah. And they were talking about it on the scanner, and I just called the police department and told them, say, hey, look, man, I got blankets, I got this, I got that. You know, what size is the family? Because we was doing we do storage units, and we have all that shit. And the police department came right out here and picked it all up, and I even sent money with them, you know, to help them out.
Yeah, the only problem over in the U.S., the radios are about $1,000 to listen to them, because they're all starting to go completely digital over here.
What's up, Grim?
They've gone digital over here. You can't do what you're doing anymore. Morning or afternoon or whatever time it is where you are. Won't be afternoon.
Well, it's 12:30 here.
That's 5 o'clock. No, it's 5 o'clock. It's beer run time.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah, it's 4:20 somewhere as well, but I mean, it's always 4:20 as far as I'm concerned.
Allegedly.
Oh no. That's I mean, don't forget, I'm in a totally different time zone to you guys. Morning UKT, darling, JC, and C for T. How you all doing? So, what is on the subject apart from scanners?
Oh hell, when do they do that clock setback thing? I think ours is tomorrow night.
It's well, I can tell you what it's in the UK. It's tonight, Saturday. It's always the last Saturday in October when the clocks go back over here. Last Saturday in October. So 2 o'clock in the morning at over here.
Ours won't be
tomorrow
until
morning,
November
Sunday.
5th.
Sorry, yours is a different day.
Yeah. When does daylight saving time end in Sunday, November the 5th?
Right. Okay. So yours is slightly different to ours.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think because time is is registered from the Greenwich Mean Time, in other words, from the UK. Where it's 0, we go back to Greenwich Mean Time from British summertime. But I always remember it's fall back and spring forward. Well,
Yeah, we fall backwards and spring forward. Yeah.
yeah, that's how I remember it. But I'm not sure when it is in. I I think it's in March. I think it's the first Saturday in March. I could be wrong. Or the last Saturday, one or the other, when British summertime starts. I mean, basically, it's a load of garbage these days. I mean, when it first came out, it was to allow people to get to work in daylight. Because people complained that it was unfair that they had to travel in the dark or something. Something stupid like that, anyway.
It's always something to fuck with people.
Absolutely. I had a good live last night, apart from one little problem. I set up the room that we were using, or the software, incorrectly, and it was my fault. So technically, anyone could have come in and dropped, one of them bombs, because I didn't have a bomb-proof shelter. But
no.
I do now. I've changed it and set it up. Oh, right. Thank you, UKT. It was to give farmers more daylight time.
Allegedly.
Yeah, I mean, I can't say for definite, UKT. But I'll take your word for it, because you are pretty up on these things. My mind is just a load of useless information. However, it's always working. Allegedly. But the other bit of good news I've got, this network idea that we've got plenty of people, loads of people joining via vigilante.media. It's attracting attention of the people who don't like us, don't like what we're trying to do, don't like basically us fighting for freedom or freedom of speech, etc. So they've decided in their infinite wisdom that they're going to try and upset the apple cart. Well, good luck with that.
Damn. Our local high school here lost their game tonight by 1 point, 25-26. That's pretty damn good, actually.
They lost a point.
Yeah, they lost the game by a point.
Oh, right. Sorry. Oh, right. Okay. Sorry, I misheard you.
No, that's all right.
I thought you were talking about hospitals, not games. What sort of game was it when you say you lost a point?
Football.
You mean that game that you watch with men that go onto the field full of armor?
Well, it's high school. It's high school football.
Yeah, okay. So it's the same thing. Yeah. What I would call rugby for people who don't want to get hurt.
Yeah, that rugby's some tough shit.
Well, they don't wear out armor, and it's they don't have different teams to go in and do different things. But I prefer football when you actually, foot to ball. You kick a ball.
Everything was 10-4 at that address.
10-4, that's okay, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
What do you think about the thumbnail for this live?
Say that again. Sorry.
I
got
said,
a-
what do you think about the thumbnail for this live?
Your thumbnail or the thumbnail in general?
Yeah, just the
Uh,
thumbnail in general.
Interesting. It's almost as good as putting Wrangler out, you know.
Check mark next to my name, and then how they gonna send me
I was watching him. Oh, sorry, not watching him. Watching one of the audits he likes to take apart, and I thought to myself, "You really are a total idiot."
Hello, Birdie.
Birdie, hello. My name's Reaper. Grim. Reaper, that is.
My name is.
I don't have a purple heart. Might change my name to that one day for a giggle. That would be fun. I see UKT's coming in to your chat now quite a lot, which is good.
Heck yeah.
I think
when people come in.
I think maybe the show is starting to attract the right caliber of people from the UK or Great Britain, I should say, you know. People who have a bit of a brain.
Doing good, Birdie. How are you?
Darling, how are you doing? Oh, giving me purple hearts. Oh.
Aw.
Sweet, but not necessary. Yeah. Because I've never had a purple heart. Actually, last night I had to explain why it is that I keep dropping comments about Frud Wrangler. And so I gave people the rundown last night. So, Mr. Wrangler, if you're listening, because I know that you do from time to time, you're one of these people who like to think that you're hiding in the shadows. Go and have a listen and come back to me if you've got any disagreements, you know, and, you know, you want to dispute the fact that any of the information which I put out was incorrect at all. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, I'll catch y'all later. I'm gonna head to bed.
Thanks for the warning. She's got 2 butterflies on either side of her name. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I've made someone's morning as well by giving them a compliment without being sarcastic as well. I mean, I think I'm getting ill. Have you got any new videos or anything? Or have you had to?
I played a video from Baltimore County Observer earlier, and yeah, I'd never seen it before. Man, the cops on there were kind of crazy. No, I've been doing a lot of editing and stuff, and that. I'm working on putting something together, it's a little something. And then I'm trying to make sure that it's right, and before I release it, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, of course.
And it's consuming a lot of time.
You're getting things perfect. That's what it is. You know,
Yes.
or perfect to the way you want it to go out anyway. Yeah.
I
get
did.
it.
I did, however, do this one. Finish this one today. I wanted y'all to. I'll show it to you because you missed it earlier.
Oh, thank you so much. Now, some people may find that offensive. I didn't. I mean, could you imagine that with, say, the Union Jack instead of your flag, right?
Yeah.
And playing God Save the King, the national anthem. It just wouldn't be right. It wouldn't work.
Well,
because people know I'm not exactly a royalist, you see.
Right.
And I'd say that, yeah, all right, I've got a bit of patriotism, if that's the right word, towards people who are in the UK or in Great Britain. And I'm concerned for the fact that they deserve the right of free speech. Not that it should be given to us, we should just take it. That's my opinion, because we've always had it. It's just that we let the law dictate to us that we can't have it. But yeah, it just wouldn't work for me. I'd probably have to use something similar that you've got there, because you've got it. You've got the right to freedom of speech. You've got the right to freedom of press, freedom of religion, freedom to take your government or to demonstrate your grievances to the government. And there's another one as well, which off the top of my head I can't remember, but you've got those 5 rights, yeah? But we don't. They say we do, but we don't.
Right.
Because we get shut down every time.
Well, you know, that was done for a veteran, like I said, and yeah. So, you know, I think.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And the way you put it together, it's perfect. It suits.
Yeah.
The right to assemble. Thank you, UKT. See, I remembered 4, which was bloody good at this Sunday morning. But we don't have those rights, as I say, and even if you fought for your country here, right, in the UK, people don't recognise that in the same way because it's a political agenda. I mean, I personally have nothing against anybody who wants to go and join the military, right? My problem isn't the fact that you want to go and join, it's the fact that when you're in there, you're totally indoctrinated into a completely new way of thinking. It's like you go through a brainwashing machine and you come out the other side and people go, oh, you went to fight for your queen or the king or whatever, you know. Have you seen any battles or any war or anything? Well, technically, the UK has never had a war since the Second World War. I mean, when we decided to go and defend the British rights to the Falkland Islands, it was an excuse so that the Prime Minister at the time, Margaret Thatcher, would be able to get re-elected because people jumped on the patriotic bandwagon because the way the media spun it. But I do have a lot of respect for people who have gone and gone into the military wherever they are, and come out the other side. And I think they should be treated a lot better than they are, and certainly they should be given far more support. And so they should have got a roof over their house, over their heads,
Great.
etc.
You ready to see the finished one I done for Angry Vet?
Yeah, please.
All right. I hope everybody likes it.
Absolutely brilliant. I really do like that, and so does Birdie and Darlene. UK's talking about the technicalities of the Constitution, which actually restricts the government. I think what it does is it holds the government to rules that they have to abide by. But people who go out and defend the Constitution, I think, need a round of applause in my book, and I think we should all support them.
The music and everything on that wasn't too loud, was it? Some people don't like
No. All right. The thing is, okay, you're playing the music.
3220 Old State Road. 3220 Old State Road. Otherwise, he is okay. Rosie can't see his face.
Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt her.
16 Temple.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, the music. You, if people think it's too loud, then they can turn the volume down.
right?
But I think you should have something which is loud, busy, colourful, that people are going to identify. In this case, it's the Angry Vet, yeah, and it's him. You with me? He is a strong believer in the Constitution. He's a strong believer in supporting vets and their rights. So yeah, I mean, the louder the better. Yeah,
He is the Angry Vet.
yeah, exactly. A voice to be reckoned with.
Well,
He
thank
was
you,
on-
Bertie. I'm glad you come over from Angry Vets.
I was going
haven't
to say,
seen yours tonight.
Angry Vet was on earlier tonight, and he was talking about or giving an update, I think, on Brooklyn.
Yeah, he's out.
Well, I'm glad he's out. What did he get charged for? Another dumb alleged crime that doesn't exist.
Government interference or something.
For holding the camera.
Interference with government operations or something.
Oh, right. So what was he doing? Standing on the sidewalk in public, recording, but where he was stood, that's where he was causing the interference from.
Well, when they initially picked him up, I don't think. Well, it's because of his police scanner. They said it was interfering with the police radios.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
I didn't realize.
but if they hadn't been if they hadn't been listening on their cell phones and watching his live, it wouldn't have interfered with them.
Well, how could it interfere?
I don't.
It's question, right? I know it's a stupid question because I know the answer, but is there any law which says you cannot listen into radio chatter and
Not
attend?
now, but they're trying to make it illegal there.
Right, they're trying to make it illegal. Well, the easiest way is that they go digitize, because that's like turning that's restricting what you can hear. That restricting your rights. There's nothing which says you can't. What they did over here before they went digitized, they said they acknowledged the fact that people were listening in, and they couldn't do anything about it. What they'd said was that if you turn up at the scene and cause a problem, then you would be arrested with obstruction. That's the way that they put it here. And one day they all went digitized.
Like I was just giving an example, like last winter, we were listening to the police scanner, and there was a family that had a fire and they had moved into a motel, but they didn't have this and this and this and this. I called the sheriff's department, told them I heard it over the scanner, and that we had all this stuff, and even sent blankets and food and everything else.
Yeah,
a little cash, because they didn't have anything because they were all on disability, and everybody was happy that we done it. They needed a heater. The motel room that they were staying in didn't have a heater, and we sent them heaters and everything else.
You see, that's where the good is. You with me? You would get applauded for that, and people would, see you as not as interference or anything like that, but as a good Samaritan, shall we say? Right? Now, the way that I see it is, if you make that illegal, you're stopping people who are able to support somebody.
Yeah,
because there isn't any support for people initially. Oh, it's ridiculous, some of it.
well, like
over here, you get charged.
Like when we have severe weather and stuff, they even put it out on the scanner, for the people that have scanners here, to let them know that we have tornadoes in the area and all that stuff. Hello, Joko.
Joko. How you doing?
We're going to have high winds or damaging hail or, whatever other emergency, like the train derailed or something,
Yeah.
to help evacuate people. It saves a lot more time than going door to door.
Well, I agree. And not only that, I mean, if you have heavy snow, etc., it would help people who are either stranded, because you can potentially, in your case, you may have blankets, etc. You can offer them. There could be that to warn people not to drive when they don't watch mainstream media. I mean, they realise that people don't watch mainstream media. They realise that people will have lives on YouTube, so it's just another way of getting the word out, and I don't see any problem with that. But over here there would be. How dare you listen to our private information? Well,
it's not likely I know these people and would ever do anything about going out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but the thing is, just by spreading the information, you are helping people.
Mm-hmm.
And you can turn around and let people know that if they're listening and they're in, they see somebody stranded, if they're able to, they can help them.
I was live on YouTube when that happened, and that's back when I was doing storage units and stuff and doing live auctions.
Mm.
And people that were in the live cash out money to us to give, to them people. You know what I'm saying? And I went down to the bank and just drawn it off the cash app, and and gave it to the officers to give to them.
Yeah.
You know, and put it in an envelope, and they signed. They gave me a, you know, at first they was a little hesitant. I was like, well, look, man, if I can't trust you, I know what's in there. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, unless you're worried about stealing the money, you know.
Yeah, you're worried. Yeah, there will. Unfortunately, there may allegedly be some officers who would do something like that. But there's also officers who wouldn't even dream of it. So, you know,
Correct.
it's a chance you take. But you're talking about the human side, not the indoctrinated side of people. And if there's a human side to them, they would deliver without hesitance at all. And you know, make sure that people got what you know, the donations, because that's what it is. It's donations for a cause.
But the officer took it right out to him anyway, and that you know, it wasn't no big deal. And they called the sheriff's department and told them to call to get in touch with whoever donated them the heater and the money and stuff like that, and the food. We sent food and other stuff over, and they were like, call them and tell them thank you. And they did. The dispatch called me back, and they said those folks were crying and stuff. I'm like, hey man, that's cool. I'm glad that, you know, that they got the help they needed. It was a blessing.
Yeah. UK, come on up and instead of writing loads of stuff in the chat, see if you come up and have a chat. You know that. You know I hate reading. I'm a lazy git. We've got this wonderful new system over here. I don't know whether it worked or not for the government, but you know, it's like every mobile phone now will receive a message alert in case there's an emergency, etc.
Yeah, we do too. And then we get Amber Alerts for like abducted children.
Yeah, well, to me, there's some good points in there, good ways it could be used for. But that's not what my concern is. To me, it's a tracking gap. It can pinpoint where you are, because you have to use it. You have to allow GPS access.
UK said I disabled it. LOL.
Yeah, I just refuse to. Well, it's on the phone. There's not much I can do with it. But if it does go off, I'll ignore it.
My phone hates me. That's why it don't give me, because I disabled my the GPS location device or whatever, you know, like so you can so it pinpoints where you're at. No, screw that.
Well, I'm always in the US on my phone. Because it's I use what's it called now? VPN.
Yeah, VPN.
No, bloody lighter. You know, it's buy a fairly decent lighter. It lasts for a couple of months and then it stops working. I might as well just bought disposables. So yeah, I mean, this warning system, theoretically it's good, but I personally just think it's another excuse. Hey up.
Good morning, evening, people.
Or you can leave it on.
Hope we are all well.
How you doing, UK?
All good. Like with this emergency messaging system, like I says, they already have the capability of that anyway. Because all we had to do that is say an emergency is happening in an area. Say, right, send a message to everyone connected to this tower, that tower, that tower, that tower.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I agree totally. Morning, Pink Taco. How are you doing?
You dedicated another video to me on cringe audits. That's nice.
On cringe audits. Never heard of cringe audits. Yeah, you're right. I mean, over here, because of all the towers that are done, they're all 5G capable or 4G minimum. Yeah, you could send a message to every single phone. However, a lot of people would just go, "Oh, that's spam. How did they get my phone number?" But it goes by the MMEI, I think it is. They can link it in with, because every phone's got its own identification.
Yeah, IMEI number in it.
Mm. But yeah, I'm glad you disabled it. It was a pain in the backside, and the test was just absolutely hilarious because it didn't work. They gave us warning that on a certain day they're going to test it, and only 28% of phones received the message. I wonder if that was because so many people disabled it, like UK did, or turned their phone off for the 5 minutes that it was going to be transmitted on. I never received it. Pardon?
You see the message I put up earlier, Grim? I put it in earlier. I had an email from the BBC.
Oh, I didn't see that. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, they requested to use some of my drone footage for a TV show of all things. It's called Defender. It shows what a good job the enforcement officers do.
Oh, they know you so well.
I politely declined.
Well, it's not like you to be polite. I know what I'd have done. I'd have replied, yes. However, because it's my material, this is my price. Get rid of all the questionable people that you've got employed in your organisation.
So two things that are really not keen on assisting is enforcement officers and the BBC.
Yeah. But of course, they couldn't do that. They couldn't go into that sort of agreement because they'd have to admit that they've got shady people working for them, and that'll never work. They need them. But there again, I'm pleased that you politely declined the offer, and respect. But that is funny.
A show called Defenders or something like that. It's called.
Wouldn't have a clue.
No, mate.
I don't agree with being licensed for something I don't use. Or watching reruns.
My argument is, say for example, you want to read the Daily Mirror. You don't have to pay for a son to read the Daily Mirror, do you? You know what I mean? So,
yeah. I mean, because of who I work for, I have no choice but to fall in line and have a TV license because I use their service. But I don't actually. I watch. Well, the wife watches a channel, and all it does is show reruns of Murder, She Wrote, MASH, Randall and Hopkirk, The Persuaders, and Return of the Saint. Now these are like 20 odd years old. So why the hell would people have to pay a license to watch them? If you want, you can go and get the DVD set or stream it online.
And technically, on now that the say these shows are what you're paying a license for. But hang on, people was paying for a license when them shows was made, so they've already paid for them shows.
Yeah.
I like MASH.
Oh yeah. So do I.
Me personally, I think if somebody's using that service, then of course, yeah, they've got to pay. They've got to pay for that service. But if somebody doesn't want to use that service and wants to watch like, such as ITV or Channel 4 or any other
Live.
live shows, then
Yep.
they should be able to do that and not have to pay the BBC to
Yeah,
watch somebody
let me-
else's shows.
Yeah. I don't. Nightmares. The BBC is funded by the TV license.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
And everybody who has a TV and watches live television or any of the BBC catch-up services on the internet has to have a license. That money goes directly to the BBC. Every other station is funded by advertising. And my argument is, if you're funded by advertising, all the others that I watch, for argument's sake, I shouldn't have to pay for watching it. And if I never watched the BBC or any of their services, why should I fund them?
Right.
Surely they should go to either a subscription service which you opt into, such as Netflix, all right? Or alternatively, you scrap the license and do what everybody else does and use adverts. Yeah. Then people have still got the choice. I mean, basically, I think the TV license shouldn't be classed as a criminal offence. It should be civil. And you should have a right to decide whether you want to use it or not. You know, opt in rather than being forced in. I see you've taken out somebody there, Nightmare.
Yeah. Yeah, I figured I'd just I'm developing a zero tolerance for that bullshit.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea. Eventually people will realise that the BS needs to disappear.
I learned some new stuff today, so if they want to come in and make comments, whatever. I'll just tell them thank you for the view and then click.
Yep. Well, what they try and call themselves? Oh yeah, trolls.
It's also good to turn on subscriber mode as well. So if we do want to make a silly comment, just forces them to subscribe to you first.
Yeah, and set it for something like I don't know, 20 minutes, 24 hours. But they can make a comment anyway.
Well, as a bigger channel pointed out to me today, yes, we do practice free speech, freedom of speech, but YouTube is a private platform, and we're providing a service for everybody, and they don't have free speech. You know what I mean? If they want to come in and talk shit, that's not free speech. That's just being dumb.
It's just only the same as if you if you go into Walmart, it's open to the public, but that they have a right to limit your First Amendment in Walmart.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's private.
Yep.
I agree totally with that, and you.
Well, like he put it today,
they can ask you to leave.
Like he put it today, you wouldn't let somebody come in your house and get by with telling you to fuck off. So why would you allow it here?
Yep.
It's a good point. This is my house, or pretty much. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah. Well, you set the rules. for visitors, and one of those rules is called show respect, which I think is fair enough.
Because
No,
in
the-
essence, like what he done a while ago, when they come in and talk about doing something like that, there's probably somebody here that may not agree with you, but everybody's going to run over and it benefits them. It doesn't benefit you.
Well, yeah, because that gives them they're the focal point all of a sudden, and that's what you want to cause disruption.
Right.
So they can disrupt the chat. Then that's one of those ways that they can try and cause you problems. Like I said to you many a time, and UK knows this, everybody is welcome on a network show. No issues whatsoever. 2 rules. 1, you respect everybody else. And the second one is you leave your shit at the door.
Exactly.
And if there's 2 people arguing, they'll both get timed out. And if they continue after a warning, then I'm sorry, but you get banned. And
those
most people will leave rather than that because they want to come back in, or they'll try and they will stop and the other one will continue, and then they're just talking to themselves.
Well, there is people that come in, and they go to different areas, you know what I'm saying? And they watch different people, and their opinion and mine may not always be the same, but when they come in here, they're respectful. And if you have an opinion about a topic and that, if you don't agree with me, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? But don't be like, well, I on this channel, you know what I mean?
No, I totally agree. I don't like people who bring crap over from other channels. It's,
right.
As a way of disagreeing without being abusive in that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Totally agree with that. But you know what? We're always going to get them. We're always going to get people who will find a way around. I mean, I don't have an issue with anybody unless they're looking for stolen valor. As a way of I don't know what's the word I'm thinking. A way of promoting somebody who rips other people off. I've had different communities come in, and they've asked to be polite and respectful to everybody, regardless of who they support.
Yeah,
I think that's perfectly a-okay in my opinion. Because they don't always want to defend, I think it's a good way, the people that they support. Well, I mean, if any of the Wrangler supporters came in here, they would be treated with respect. Granted, we would take the piss out of their Purple Hearts, but
well, that's like he showed us today, like how to tweak things inside YouTube and how to draw more traffic and stuff. And I was really impressed with that. And, it makes a big difference in that.
Yeah. There's a couple of channels that I'm thinking of that have grown rather suddenly, right? And one in particular, they got to 61,000, and a few weeks or so ago, they were under 30,000.
Wow.
But it's the way that they've used promos, used shorts. Some have gone viral with over 1 million views across different platforms.
And catchy thumbnails help too. That's what that's what they were saying.
So yeah, I mean, it's all about attracting people to your channel. We've grown as well. I think yesterday we hit another milestone, something I never thought we would ever get, because I don't do anything for clicks and views. I'm against that. you know. But we've managed to get over 700 subscribers, and for a little channel that, basically, in my opinion, encourages people to speak the truth, but in a way that allows that it doesn't breach the terms of service of the contract, which I, as a creator, have got with YouTube. So it's, you know, slowly, but the word is getting out, you know. So that's the way I see it, you know. Great, fantastic. I've not got a goal in mind of the number of subscribers, or even monetization. I don't want to be monetized. I don't think I'll ever take that option, because you end up then in another contract with YouTube and their partners, which means that they look at views. So you're now encouraging to do clicks for views.
Yeah, we talked about that today too, but being monetized puts you on a different shelf with the algorithm to put out what you're, you know, to get the message out that you're trying to get out. So being monetized does help. I mean, I understand, you know, that it is a contractual thing, but there again,
you know, you could, for argument's sake, you're monetized, yeah. YouTube can you may not be in breach of YouTube's terms and conditions, but by using other people's material and you're monetized, you have to be really careful.
Yes,
you can't advertise other people directly. The terms of service on monetization is a lot stricter, and you don't necessarily get any chance to do anything. One day you could be there working away, and then all of a sudden you get a 90-day ban on monetization, and then you appeal, but you are appealing. You have to remember you're appealing against the monetization terms and conditions, not YouTube general terms and conditions, because they're totally separate. And you know, at the end of the day, they'll either accept your application for review or appeal, or they'll just turn around to you and say, "Nope, sorry, you breached this rule, that rule, and by the way, read the copy of the terms and conditions that we sent you for partners."
Yeah, they the first time we was monetized, they demonetized us for what, 4 months?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, said I was overusing reused content.
Yeah, because you turn around and say, "Well, they can't make money on it. It's not attractive to the advertisers." And
but the way I look at it, and that's what I was trying to explain to them, under fair use, you're allowed to use other people's videos as long as you transform it into something of your own.
Yes.
And every one of the videos that I was putting out was done that way. I transformed it, and I fought with them over it for 4 months before finally I just said, F it, you know, and I deleted all the videos. I had one that had over 3 million views.
Yes. Yeah. This is the problem, because you're under a different set of terms and conditions, and there's no budging, and your appeal falls on deaf ears. But you are right, fair use, etc. There shouldn't be any. And under the general terms and conditions, if you take somebody else's video and you change it so that it becomes something which you've created, then you can show it. And this is why how a lot of channels get away with it. But you know, some of these bigger channels that are monetized, I mean, Wrangler could be taken down at any time because of the way he does things. All it takes is a complaint from the original creator.
Oh, he's got them, and YouTube told him there's nothing they can do about it because it falls under fair use.
But if you argue it on the case of partners, as a partner, they're not producing their own material. and it's not fair use. Fair use would be technically, I think you can argue it safely under 10 seconds or 8 seconds, something like that. Even if you have permission from the other channel to use their stuff, it'd be like me using yours. If I was monetized, the algorithm would pick up that, or the bot would pick up that I'm using somebody else's material, and because I'm using somebody else's material, they slap a 90-day ban on you now.
Well,
from
like when we're sitting here doing, like when we're sitting here doing lives, and say you come in and you're restreaming that live, and we're all just sitting here talking, and I get notifications all the time about like when Indy or anybody else, you know, comes up here and restreams, asking me if I want to strike them because I'm the original creator, which makes no sense because just because I initiated the live, you know what I mean? It'll say they used 100% of your content.
Oh yeah, yeah, but they allow you to restream because they work in conjunction with, in this case, it's StreamYard. So they allow that, but you allow it because you can set it so that they can't restream it.
Right.
So, I mean, because you've given permission by allowing it to be streamed to, you know, to my audience, right? It might be a retransmission from you, but I'm part and parcel of that live. So
yeah, what's funny about that is and you know, like you brought up that other person a while ago and everything. The reason he's getting by with it is because it falls under satire. However
yeah,
say that shit.
Yes, yeah, humor. But it doesn't because it's not humorous.
Maybe not to you, but you know,
maybe that's the problem. Maybe
I don't find it humorous either, especially when you're calling people lot lizards and things like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, UK, have you ever been called a lizard?
Oh, plenty of times. I've seen one video, I think it was yesterday, from one of the anti-auditor channels. And it was basically, on this video, somebody got in a car, drove onto a pavement, onto a sidewalk, to try and knock this auditor over.
Yeah,
and
I saw that.
He was, and the anti-auditor was encouraging this behaviour.
Yeah, and I know who restreamed it or who used it as well. Yeah, I think that's wrong because they're encouraging people to
break the law.
Yes, but the copper wasn't interested. When they were speaking, and the the so-called anti-auditor has completely missed the whole point and kept saying things to interrupt the stream, so to speak, with their own personal viewpoint, which is fine. But I think people need to realise that that is their viewpoint, and yes, they have a right to say what they feel about it. But they do need to be careful what they say sometimes because it could be used against them.
See you later, Joko.
Ta-ra, Joko. Take care.
It seems to be a trend with a lot of these channels. Like they seem to be supporting the police by encouraging people to break the law, which just doesn't make sense.
Yes. Yeah, I agree with that.
Well, you know, everybody's talking about, well, they don't understand why cops are being like they are right now. Well, you know, it's because the politicians and all these people, you know, and the lawyers and the judges, even the ones that are supposed to defend you, are all out at the country club playing golf together and shit. And you know, it's part of that buddy system. And the cop does something bad. Well, they're buddy, not necessarily buddy with the judge, but they're buddy with that attorney. You know what I'm saying? Or
Yeah.
the attorney that gets up there is all buddy with them. And that's why sometimes, like, some cases are almost impossible to win, even if you're not wrong, you know?
Their behaviour enables bad behaviour, doesn't it? You know what I mean? Which the way the system deals with its own doing bad behaviour is enabling that bad behaviour, because now that there's no personal consequences for their behaviour.
Yeah, it's the qualified immunity that makes for sure, you know, and the damn police unions. Of course, the people in the police unions, like I said, they're the ones that are playing golf with attorneys and the lawyers and the judges and shit like that. Get out of there. Angel, get out of there. You're not going to sit there and drink all the cat's water. Asshole.
So, just sort of moving on slightly. I think we all agree that for whatever reason, we should highlight the wrong that these anti-fraudster channels are doing. You know, and I think we should keep the pressure up. Maybe not necessarily promoting their channel in any way. But if you are good at editing and a little bit creative, you can certainly wind them up without giving their name. I'm just working on
if you know them by the first name, you know, and a lot of people don't know the channel's owner by their first names, and that I would just use or even make it funny, you know, where if somebody new comes on, they won't know who you're talking about. You know,
Yep.
You know what I mean? They'll just think it's funny and they'll be like, oh. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because that's the problem. A lot of these anti-auditor channels are getting promotion from off the back of the A1 community they're doing the same thing to us and they don't even realize it. You know, when they put up a video, somebody's going to recognize them or they tell who it is, you know, and that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, this is it. I mean, people just don't realize how much they are promoting other channels or the channels that they're having a go at, shall we say, for want of a better expression.
I don't think they need any help to make fun of it. I think they do an excellent job by themselves, to be honest.
Well, I know an anti-auditor channel, or channels, I should say, went and done videos on 2 auditors in our community. And because of them, of the anti-auditors, I found these 2 people and now have become big supporters of theirs because the police absolutely done them wrong. And I wouldn't even known who they was if they hadn't made a video about them. You know?
Yeah.
I think a lot of them try in a way to put down what auditors are doing in a way that explains exactly why the auditors are doing exactly what they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's a catch-22 thing, you know. It's good and bad at the same time. kind of like my mama used to say, it's damned if you do and damned if you don't.
Yes. Good saying that. I'll just say that your mother had a lot of sense.
Yes, she did. She also told me not to stand out in the rain too. You get wet. She was right.
I turn around to people and say, "Don't stand out in the rain." And they go, "Why?" Well, because you could end up melting.
I always tell nobody I don't have to worry about melting. Shit floats.
Now. It's funny though.
But hell, I've taken a bath out in the rain though, so that really don't matter. I mean, it was a little cold, but whatever.
Yeah, it's just the way it works, isn't it?
Yeah. But it was clean water, so what difference does it make,
Rainwater is good for your hair too.
Yeah, sure is. Of course, I didn't have to worry about no neighbors. I didn't have no neighbors. Of course, I wasn't nude anyway. That'd scare the hell out of the plants. They'd shrivel up and die.
And the rainwater probably a lot safer than a lot of the water what's coming through the pipes.
Yeah, I didn't have a shower inside the house. So when it would rain and that, I'd stand outside under the gutter spout and just take a shower. My buddy used to say, "Well, how did you wash your private parts?" I said, "I just stick the rag down there, soap it up, and then open my pants." Hell. It's not like I'm going to wear those shorts after I'm done. Yeah.
Funny.
But when I was homeless, I had one of those things that you could put water in, and let it heat up and by the sun or whatever, and that it was just like a portable shower. Didn't work too well in the wintertime, though.
Whereabouts in the States are you?
What's that?
Whereabouts in the States are you?
I'm in Tennessee.
I've never been that way. It's one place I've wanted to visit, but never been that way.
Well, I started saying before when I first started, we didn't have a lot of auditors over here, but more and more are popping up, and it's about damn time. Tennessee is a bad little state for like corruption and shit like that, because it's part of that South, and
Boy syndrome.
yeah, the good old boy syndrome, and people are starting to put the light on it, and a lot of these little small southern towns like I live in, they're very corrupt, and know that for a fact.
A lot of the smaller towns have never been challenged, have they? So
No. It's like I said, it's that good old boy system, Oh well, yeah.
just a way of life, but in the small towns now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's the way they've done things for 100 years or 200 years or whatever, and nobody's ever challenged their authority, because whoever the mayor is, they're related to Billy Bob Joe Thornton down the street there or something, and everybody just lets them do whatever the hell they want to. And when they call it into question, the local police departments or sheriff's departments, as it may be, are all in cahoots, and you'll either do what they say or they'll beat the hell out of you. I'm living proof of that. escort you to the county line and tell you not to come back in their county anymore. You've been banned from the whole county. They tried that shit with Rambo and it didn't work out too well with them.
You know, to be honest, I'll find that with like a lot of people say it's like the younger up and coming officers now. What's the problem? I've always found the older officers are more of a problem because they've done the job for that long and never had their authority questioned. That when eventually it does happen, they don't know how to handle it.
Yeah, well, I've got a prime example of what you're talking about. The guy in Paris, right, hon?
Mm-hmm.
The old dude's probably been doing things like that ever since. Probably been on the department, 50 years or better, and just done things however the hell he want to. Tried to tell me I couldn't go into a public office and record, and I asked him what law it was, and he got all flustered. And if it hadn't been for his sergeant, he was going to put me in cuffs.
Yeah, but the thing is, but they've never been challenged. That's what it is. You know, they've got this attitude of I make the law.
Yep,
I am the law.
I am the law. Yeah, judge, jury, and executioner. I'm sorry, but who made you Judge Dredd? You know.
And
something you stole.
And I think this is the problem: is we've got that kind of mindset training the younger ones. Well, as we all know, when you go into a new job and you're shown how to do something, you believe that's how you do that job.
Yep.
And that's the way they're being taught, and that's how they believe. Well, look what happened to Angry Vet. That captain, he got his feelings hurt because Angry Vet put him in his place, and he was bound and determined to take Angry Vet to jail. It didn't matter whether he was leaving or not. Angry Vet was going to get arrested one way or another, and that he was just, Then they come up with obstructing or interfering or whatever. Well, that's why they make crime scene tape.
Mm-hmm.
You put the shit up, and so you're not wandering around in their crime scene. And but cops think they can just do whatever the hell they want to do, and most of the time they do. They get by with it because nobody challenges them.
Yeah.
As I like to say, it's laws for thee and not for me.
Oh, yeah. It's also do as I say, not as I do.
Exactly.
As well.
And if an officer was standing there holding a camera and recording, and you walked up there and smacked his camera out of his hand or touched his camera, you'd be in cuffs so fast you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what's the difference? I mean, assault's assault because the camera is an extension of you. If it's illegal to touch an officer just because he's wearing a badge, there's no difference than them coming up and touching me with a camera. You know what I'm saying? It's still assault.
Yes.
But unfortunately, they try to spin it to where it don't work that way. And, a lot of these charges that they bring against people is just frivolous and it's bullshit. And when it gets up there, they already know before they ever charge you with it, that if the judge is not just as crooked as a snake, that they're going to throw it out of court anyway, because they're never going to get a guilty verdict or out of a jury of your peers. And the officer's like, well, I didn't know. And so, under, I don't know, because of the union and qualified immunity, they get by with it.
And yet, for us mere mortals, ignorance of the law is no excuse.
Yeah. That applies to us. We're supposed
Yeah,
to know
that's
all
what I
that
mean.
shit, but the cops don't have to. They're like, oh, well, I didn't know.
But they can get away with it. That's the trouble.
Well, because of qualified immunity.
Yep.
And the police unions to protect their jobs. If somebody, and not only that, the people that are investigating them are one of their own. You know, they're not going to turn on them. They may slap them on the wrist and give them a 1-day suspension with pay or some shit. You know,
very few are fired, and if they are fired, very few actually let other forces know that they fired somebody and the reasoning why.
And most of the time, if it's a big screw up, they've already got an scapegoat in mind, and they just push him to the front, you know, and put everything off on him. Even in their reports, you know, they'll be like, well, you know, this rookie cop, especially with rookie cops, you know, they'll throw them under the bus quick, and then, you know, and everybody will get together. All the other crooked son bitches will get together and they'll write their reports to make that guy look bad. And hey, look, he's the sacrificial lamb. We've seen it.
We don't have qualified immunity over here.
No.
But what we do have, which to be honest, in some ways is even worse, is to be able to prosecute an officer as a person. You have to prove that they, as an individual, didn't know. They as an individual knew better, not as a reasonable person would know better. That they personally didn't know better. Which how can you prove that's what somebody knows and what somebody don't?
It's crazy how that shit works, you know. Take for instance the case that happened here in Memphis, Terry Nichols. When it's all said and done, all them guys that are involved in that is going to throw it off on that one officer who told him, you know, that his old lady was cheating on him with this guy that they attacked. And they've tried to cover it up and say, well, no, that's not what happened. But, you know, they've already shown proof that this officer that initiated all this and everything, you know, ran the guy because he went to where his wife or ex-wife or ex-girlfriend or whatever the case was, where she worked, and seen him with her. And he went and found out who he was, and he put the Scorpion unit that he worked on out on a lookout for him and labeled him as a drug dealer. And the end results was Terry Nichols got beat to death. And yes, there's five or six people that are charged with murder, but we already know what's going to happen there. They're all going to get together and throw that one guy under the bus just so they can save their asses.
Yep, unfortunately.
Even though they all stood there and beat and punched and kicked and everything else.
And for everybody else that look, especially out here, the laws are all, well, we all state what a reasonable person would believe. Look, for an officer, it's what they knew at the time, which is basically impossible to prove or disprove.
And see, the sad part about it is, instead of keeping the pressure on it, the regular news media, the journalists and everything, this happened almost 9 months ago now. You don't hear nothing about it. No updates, no nothing. They're still not talking about it. It's just gone dead in the media. Why is it still important? Because these bad cops, along with other people in the department, facilitated this man's death, and they're not talking about it. They swept it under the rug and just killed the whole thing and made it hush hush. You know, which I think is bullshit, because the media will throw other things at you when it comes to bad law enforcement, like, oh, well, look at Trump, he's doing this, or look at Biden, he's doing that, or Israel this, or Judah this, or the Little Red Riding Hood this, just shit to distract you from what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
And then the courts will secretly have their little trial and prosecute this guy, and you might see it 10 years from now, like on a program.
I've just put a link in the chat for anybody who wants to have a look at it. And if you want to share it, there's no copyright on it. But a thank you to all of the recent subscribers who have joined the network on YouTube, because we've hit another milestone. We've got just over 700 subscribers.
Nice.
So you'll love the colour, by the way, of the background. I've done that quite simple because it's the only way I'm going to get any purple. But this is what I talk about, subtlety. Some people, I mean, that might actually go over somebody's head totally. But I don't have a problem with that.
Well, gentlemen, I think it's been fun, but I think ain't gonna be no all-nighter. There ain't enough people in here for me to do that.
No, unfortunately. Well, Brooklyn's live, so
Yeah.
that'll take in quite a lot of viewers away.
Yeah, he'll probably be on all night anyway.
Yeah, I might hop over there and say hello and show my support. If you don't get a notification, I don't know what's up with YouTube. There was people yesterday complaining they didn't get any notifications. So I think YouTube are up to their usual tricks, potentially. But
well, that's like I had to resubscribe to 2 people today that I know I had been subscribed to, and I was like, well, why am I not? But yeah, the main thing is if you're subscribed to somebody, go in and make sure you watch at least 10 minutes of a video, leave a comment, even if it ain't nothing but like a period or a smiley face or something. So you stay subscribed to these people and make sure your bell notifications are on, and set it to all.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
Yeah. Okie dokie. Well, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to drop down. I'm going to say thanks to UK for coming up. It doesn't say much when he's up here on the panel, but when he does, it's very poignant and leaves food for thought. So thank you for that.
I'm glad he came up. I enjoyed his perspective.
Yeah, well, this is it. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I was just getting a load of music in my ears for a second. I thought, what have I done? Yeah, I just want to say thank you to you as well, Nightmares, for letting me come on up, and we'll have to sort out an evening or a time when you're available when I come back from holiday and Angry Betty is available, and we can have a conversation around veterans in the US.
Yes.
Because I want to put it up on the website. It's not going to go on YouTube, so you can be as open as you want. Total free speech. You can say what's wrong and how you would fix it and things like that. So that's something in the future that we can do. In the meantime, I'm going to go. Thanks very much. Peace to everybody, and I'll see you all again soon.
Thank you, sir.
Take care.
Bye for now. Take care.
Take care. Take care all. Enjoy sleep if you're going for a sleep. It's currently 7:56 in the UK.
Yeah, it's almost 2 a.m. here, so.
Yeah. Take care all. Bye-bye
You
now.
too, buddy. Thank you for coming up. I appreciate it. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Thank all of you for being here. I appreciate all of you very much. Thank you for all the love and support. Make sure you hit that like button. Smash that little thumb. And till next time, we'll see you later. Good day.